Chatham Journal, Chatham Chatlist. I have the great big, or just the big Mike Markham. And we're sitting here at Big Mike's Barbecue in Pittsboro on Saturday, January 20th. And you had a soft opening today. And right now it's about 4:45. And you pretty much ran out of everything.
Yep. All gone except a little bit of brisket left. So
yeah, we're going to talk about that towards the end because we're going to look at it and why Pittsboro? Why now?
Oh man, just looking at the growth that's going on and the established town that's already here just kind of reminds me of the town I grew up in. I grew up in South Charlotte, a town called Concord, and it just has that small town feel still, and it has all this growth coming. So I think for business to establish with the people that are already here and then to grow with the town would be really nice. And so just looking forward to seeing what it can do in the future. And there's no barbecue really around here too. So.
Oh. Don't say that to Allen and Sons.
Oh yeah, sorry, Jimmy.
It's
I know
right.
it's part of away. That's like 20 minutes away.
Yeah, that's far away. And actually, I talked to his son Ethan Stubbs yesterday. And he's getting married, by the way. But he says, "Hey man, the competition's good." So
yeah, I love it. I think he's a great dude. So, I love the friendly competition.
Yeah, we may have to have a cook-off, or if you want to go
old. Man? How are you?
You want to go old
Good
style?
Good to see you finally over here.
Come on in. Get in the. Is this one of your fans here?
Oh yeah, he's been
here. Get in the picture. Get in the picture. How long have you known Mike for?
Since 19.
19 years?
Yeah.
Probably.
All right. So you were in the restaurant business too?
Yeah.
He's
Mike's best food taster is what it is.
You can't tell me. Years ago, he's like, you got to come to Pittsburgh. You got to come to Pittsburgh. So.
How many years ago was that?
When I met him.
Oh, 19 years ago?
No, 2019.
Oh, 2019. Oh, because I was going to say, if it took you 19 years to get in Pittsburgh, you're not a very good friend.
It takes a lot longer to get to
Pittsburgh. There you go. All right, but you got another place, though, don't you?
Yeah, got our spot and carry. So.
Spot and carry.
We've been there. We had a place in Apex. We closed down. This is the reopening of that joint, so.
All right.
Get some brisket
yes,
sandwich.
Sir. Yeah.
Cool. Sorry.
No,
Sorry.
good. My bad. I didn't
Had a
even
good
know.
day.
You should have came here earlier. Because when I talked to one of your staff members yesterday, Nick said it's pretty much open up 11 and you go till you're sold out. So.
Yeah. So we're gonna have it once we get open. It'll be a different style. So we'll have barbecue once it's gone. So when our pork and our brisket and any type of specials are running, we do like pork belly burn-ins or our burn-ins. When they're gone, they're gone. But then we'll have a menu that runs all day long. So our amazing like beer brine, half chicken, our ribs, our like when we do like our new poor man's burn-ins, those will be on the menu all day, every day, because it's something we can keep up with. But doing like the chopped pork and the sliced brisket all day long, it's so hard to keep up because you got to keep a pitmaster around all day long for that. So these guys work early, they work late. It's just a good way for us to kind of have like a good like stable menu behind that. So when you come in, if we run out of those things like we did now, we'd have a great menu to follow behind with some really cool sandwiches and some like really good like fresh food. So it's gonna be exciting, and then we'll have some great drinks, good wine list, really good beer from our brewery that we're gonna bring it in, and then of course we'll have a full liquor license too. So.
And your plan is to open up this coming Thursday?
This Thursday.
Thursday, if everything goes.
The 25th.
Everything goes well.
Yeah.
Now
we got our ABC meeting on Wednesday, so if everything goes okay there, then we'll fully open up, full liquor, everything. So today we're doing a charitable donation towards Charlie Mike. It's a great foundation that does service animals for veterans.
All right.
So they basically like they breed, raise, like produce like service dogs for veterans. And so for me, that's just something great to get behind. So all the alcohol sales we did today pretty much are going towards that, a charitable donation to them, and then hopefully next week we get our liquor license, we'll be able to start selling alcohol. So.
When you get in the restaurant business?
When or why?
Both. That's a good question. Follow-up question. When and why?
It's been 12 years since we started our food truck, so I had the dream to get into the restaurant world for a long time. And finally, once I had my son, which he's running around here somewhere, when he was born, I decided like I want to be a family man, spend time with my kids, and then do something that I really love doing, and try to find some money, make it along the way. And so, best decision I thought I ever made, because we had the food truck running for a few years, and we opened one brick and mortar, and then we opened a second. We closed down our second brick and mortar because we opened a brewery in downtown Cary, and so that was kind of the progression in that. It was supposed to happen 2 years earlier. And so when all that just kind of came to light, it was like, all right, it was time to cut ways with the Apex store, and then we were planning on opening another one back up, and so here we are out here to kind of complete that second store, and we're going to run our catering out of here too. So.
All right. How'd you decide on barbecue, though? You probably had a whole bunch of choices, but how'd that part start?
I mean, some of my best childhood memories evolved around barbecue. My grandfather was a big cook, And so for me, like I love Christmas every year, and so my favorite memories were Christmas Eve. My grandfather, he would cook all the time, but he wouldn't cook on Christmas Eve. He'd go buy a shoulder from a local barbecue joint, and he would make his own sauce and make his own slaw. But then he would just basically let everybody come in. He would shut down his kitchen and just say, everybody come over, hang out, and spend family time. And that turned into, for me, it was like a great memory, and it's like I always love barbecue. And so now that I'm an adult, like I want to be able to see, that tradition carried forward with my kids moving forward, and know that like my roots were, in this food. And then I went to NC State, started cooking whole hogs, and it was all over at that point.
When you graduate, the state lost today. They lost to Virginia Tech.
Yeah, it's great.
We're not going to talk about NC State
Did
stuff.
Carolina lose too?
I don't know.
They were
I
close
think,
with.
Aren't they playing later?
They
Or
played
they
Boston
playing
College. They already played earlier. But,
Oh, okay, that's right. They had an earlier game up in Boston College.
Good game, Virginia Tech, but
So.
States.
All right.
We're close with that team, and so for me, it hurts. It hurts when they have a bad day. But I was last week when the refs weren't treating us well, and half the team and the coach get kicked out. I was like, I'll take that all day long.
I was going to say that's the first time because I shoot over there, and that was the first time I've seen him kicked out of the game. Actually, it's the first time I've ever seen him go after a ref because he's usually pretty.
I thought he was going full Bobby Knight.
Oh, man.
Like, throw a chair. He went on the court. Like, we thought he was going to grab the player. So.
Oh, and actually, the News and Observer photographer got a really good shot of where he's pretty much in the face of the ref. So It got a little heated there.
We won't talk about the hand gestures that went on later on in the game, but that was
some suspensions there too. But people will be able to watch the games here, won't they?
Yep.
And
we got the two TVs in the bar. We're going to put some more around the corner here, so we'll be able to have, we'll have it where it's still going to be kind of family-friendly atmosphere, but the bar will kind of dictate. If we need to add more TVs, we will, but really, I think the TVs we have now and the couple we're going to add in the dining room it'll be enough.
Right.
People love eating barbecue.
Right.
It's not so much a hang out and drink and spend the time watching a whole game, so we'll see. We'll see what it ends up like.
Going back to your granddaddy, is any of the stuff that he used, his recipes or his sauces or anything else, is that anything you incorporated into your Big Mike's barbecue?
Really, he was never trained other than he was in the Marines and he cooked a lot when he was there. That's where he learned to cook at a very young age. But other than that, my grandpa always had this little container up in his little cup up in his cabinet. And he would cook. He would taste it as he went. He'd season it. He had a little salt and pepper in there. And so for me, everything we make, I'm always in here tasting it, seasoning it, make sure everything's just right. So for me, that was the main influence I had. It's like, you got to taste what you eat. And so too many people that work in kitchens, they produce, but they don't taste along the way. And for me, that's the one influence I have is like, I come in, I look at it, I'm like, a little taste, I'm like, all right, that's right. If it's wrong, make a little adjustment. Nothing's ever perfect in the kitchen, but our recipes are pretty darn good and kind of hard to fail at them because I believe in the keep it simple, stupid method. So for me, it's keep everything funny. Are you leaving?
Oh,
sorry.
No, it's okay. If
She brought my birthday cake and then.
Oh, is it your birthday today? Do we need to take a quick break?
No, it's fine.
Okay.
It's fine. January 20th, my birthday. So
January 20th.
Everybody asked what I want for birthday. I was like, I want to open this store because we've been waiting way too long to get it.
Well, hey, this is one heck of a birthday gift, not just to yourself, but to the community of Pittsboro. So you opened up at 11 a.m. How did the day go for you?
Killer. We sold through enough food that we thought we'd get through till about 7 or 8 o'clock. We sold through it by like 3 o'clock. So we were busy. It was I had about 3 kids in here working. My girlfriend and her mom in here working. Like, it was just pretty much we brought everybody in we could at the time to make it happen. And so we got through it. Everybody seemed pretty happy. Everybody was very accepting to knowing it was going to take a little time to get some of their food out. But we did 1 plate, 1 platter. That was like it. And we had sandwiches to go. And so that was a good model to start with. But we look forward to expanding. But we know that we're going to open these Thursday, Friday, Saturday next week. And we may keep it that way for the first few weeks just so we figure out that we have enough staff and make sure we do it right when we're open. So.
All right. So if someone wants to come next week, it's Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Yep.
And then if you're going to keep that schedule pretty much until you work things out to where you feel comfortable with. Maybe we're going to add another day or time or whatever.
So we talked about doing Wednesday through Saturday. We'll see what the crowd's like on Sundays. Maybe we'll see if it's worth it. But what we thought about doing was doing like a Tuesday nights, doing like a wine dinner. It's like have like a paired wine dinner with different types of meals. Every month it'd be a different rotation of like some type of special meal where you get a fixed menu. You get 4 different courses, 4 different wines to taste. That'll be something to kind of try and do a little different. And then we're also going to start doing beer dinners too. So it'll be
Well, let me ask you this: what's the best wine to pair with barbecue?
Oh man, for me, like smoked meats you gotta think about like smoked meats and wine, like because wine has so many different complex flavors, and you start smoking different meats, they just meet together so well. So it just depends. Like, you know, you get into some like really deep like beef like smoked meats, man, you get some like really good like like big wines with that. Love it. Like I said, I love it. I love
You
it.
may have to pair up with the wine store in downtown Pittsboro, because come on, honestly, when most people think of barbecue, they're not necessarily thinking about wine, are they?
Yeah, we're gonna do some things that are a little different.
You're gonna teach
there's
them.
there's a lot of pieces of animal that don't get smoked normally. You see that we can do as far as I can do in a dinner. So we'll do some like special cuts, some things you wouldn't normally see. We'll probably have a steak. We'll start doing some, you know, maybe some salmon in the menu that mixes in there, so you'll be able to add some complexity to the palate that goes with some different wines. So
What's the most unusual thing you ever smoked?
like, my favorite thing is the tongue. Like anytime I do a whole hog, I always take the tongue home and feed it to my kids. I slice it up real thin. It tastes like, I mean, it's almost like texture and tastes like
How much do you get of a tongue?
I mean, tongue's about that big.
Oh, is it that big?
So I always feed it to them in tacos. They don't know it. They're running around.
Oh,
here,
great!
You know, so
Don't
they
watch
don't know
this,
it.
kids. Dad is feeding you.
They love it, but I mean, it tastes like it's almost like between a salami and bologna as far as like flavor and like a little bit of texture. It's a little more tough. But man, once you I'll smoke it on the pig whole,
Right.
then I pull it out and I slice it real thin, then kind of reheat it and put them in tacos. It's amazing. It's a little bit of slaw. So, like I said, the kids they love it. They tear it up. So,
Yeah, you don't know what you're eating, kids. When you smoke your stuff, where are you going to smoke? Because I noticed Nick was out in the back yesterday cleaning off the grill. Is that you going to be using multiple grills, one grill, or?
it depends on the day. So I've got 7 different trailer cookers, and I've got our smokers that work in the kitchen. Those will be our workhorses on a daily basis. So we're using everything with wood. So we either have pellets or we're using like lump charcoal or using actual like sticks.
So you're doing old school. You're not doing this newfangled stuff.
Well, I said we use the pellet smokers because those are workhorses. They are
Right.
consistent. They work. Great product that comes off of them. Doesn't get too smoky. Sometimes meat, when you're doing doing like whole logs with some of the stuff that we're doing, it gets overpowered with smoke. But the pellets are really like they make a good delicate. Like if I would ever do any type of smoked fish dish, it's going to be on the pellet smoker because it produces like a really good product and it's not overwhelming. So
Right.
this fish just absorbs smoke like instantly. So.
Has there been an event or a dinner or anything you've cooked up that's put the biggest smiles on your face?
Oh man, biggest smiles. Anytime I do a whole hog, it turns out that way. For me, getting into believe it or not, when I do like a smoked tenderloin, like I'll smoke a tenderloin and then slice it off and then hit in the cast iron pan for a second. I mean, that's when you see the most smiles. I never thought about having like a smoked fillet. Because fillets are, overall, it's not my choice of steak when I go out. But if I get a whole tenderloin, I'll smoke it first. Cut that thing up and just sear it on the outside. It's amazing. It's like a good, nice, light smoke flavor into it. It's good.
Right. You got sold out when I walked in the door because I got caught up to stop at Costco and get my wife some stuff.
Oh, God.
Because, a happy wife makes for a happy life. So, what you had left was you had barbecue sandwich, actually brisket sandwich. Brisket sandwich.
We did a burn in, mixed in with some sliced brisket, so we kind of did it together. We knew we needed to close the kitchen now because we sold everything else, and so I was like, hey man, I got this amazing brisket left. I think we got like 20 sandwiches left, and we're gonna send them out the door when people walk in and tell them thanks for coming, and we'll see you Thursday.
All right. Speaking of burnt ends, you mentioned burnt ends. That's one of my favorites too. But there's a lot of barbecue places that only do that for a limited amount of time, or maybe once a week or whatever. You're doing it multiple days, or you're doing it one day a week?
So we've done it on Wednesdays and Saturdays. There's been a burn-in day.
Okay.
We do them. But we've got a new technique that helps us do those on a regular basis. So we'll see. It's a new recipe. We're sampling it out actually this weekend. And so we got a big catering on Monday. We're doing it for my church with a bunch of men. And so we're bringing this new burn-in out. We're going to sample with those guys and see what the feedback is. But it turns out amazing. It's like our tradition. We've never done like a sauce burn-in.
Right.
This is more of just like a raw, like you get all that fat mixed with the rub. You don't need a sauce on it. For me, like this is going to be it'll be more like a little more of a buttery sweet sauce that goes into it. So it'll come like a little more of a wet one. I've never done burn-ins that way. So I said I got to try it first before I agree to have it on the menu. But
All right. So you're going to test it out on your buddies at church.
yeah.
And you're praying that they'll like it. You notice how I stuck that praying in there. All right, so
You got 225 guys we're feeding on Monday, or 250 we're feeding on Monday night. We'll get some feedback.
so what's the secret to making great burn ends and great brisket? Because my wife loves brisket. That's actually her favorite. She likes it better than pulled pork.
Yeah.
What's your secret to making the great brisket?
For me, I mean, really, it comes down to the rub that you put on the meat. So, I mean, a lot of people believe in the salt and pepper method. I believe in using a little more complexity in the rub. But, I mean, having, like, the meat, it's just got to be cooked at the right temp, the right amount of time. So, for me, these all went about 218s are our temperature we try to go for the cooking temp. And, man, sometimes it takes 20 hours, sometimes it takes 16. But, I mean, it really turns out.
Well, I was going to say this is beautimous, or as my kids would say, beautimous. All right, I'm going to try this out. Because I was too late to try some of your other stuff, but I figure I'm going to try this. This is good, folks. You gotta try the brisket. What else do they have to try? The burnt ends, I think we've touched on. Nick was telling me some of the other stuff. I mean, you're not serving anything bad, but what are the best things you're serving?
I mean, if I had to go to a competition and compete on any level, like our wings are the best wings you'll have. I mean, you cannot beat them. Like I said, barbecue, it comes down to people's preferences, but when it comes to wings, like, by far our wings are better than anybody else's wings I've ever had. So that's the one thing. You come in and you try a wing, you're like, wow. That makes people, like, they remember that. And then our smoked potato salad paired with those wings. Like we talked about.
Wait a minute. Smoked potato salad?
Yeah, we take the tallow from the beef, from the brisket when we smoke, and we put that into the fryer. And we actually fry our potatoes in that for our potato salad. So especially like a smoky, beefy, fat flavored potato, and then we mix in, it's a warm and cheesy potato salad. Then we mix in some sour cream, some mayo, Duke's mayo, and we put a little dry rub in there, and it is one of the best things you'll ever eat in your life.
Well, it's probably the Duke's mayo that makes a difference, and not Hellman's.
I had to throw Duke's in there. I don't want to think I'm not using Duke's. So.
Wait a minute. A state fan is throwing in Duke's mayo because what is it? UNC? Well, actually, UNC played at the Duke's Mayo Bowl, but they didn't do too well.
Yeah, but how many people at UNC you see eating Duke's?
We're not getting in that discussion here.
They're a bunch of Miracle Whip guys. Sorry. Pinky out Miracle Whip guys.
Oh my goodness.
My apologies to
the
UNC crowd.
Look, UNC crowd, you can still come. Look, my wife's UNC grad, so and she likes brisket, so I'm gonna have to bring her back for this. But even your part as a UNC crowd, you can come down to Big Mike's. What else do people need to know about your place? I mean, today was a big. I mean, it worked out well for you. You sold out before you thought you were going to sell out. There's a lot of buzz on social media. I saw French Connection posted a note on Facebook. You guys had put something out. You had a thing on hiring folks and doing the chat list. I like to repost that kind of stuff when I find it on Facebook. So you seem to have gotten a lot of attention here in the town.
The thing that shocked me most, we had such a good turnout of people wanting to come work here. They were local and really some very talented local people. I'm looking forward to getting in here and training and seeing what we can do here, because that was the limited time we're going to be open. I was worried we wouldn't be able to hire enough people because we are in our carry store. We're having trouble just finding people to work, and out here it seems like people are excited about what we're going to do here. So it seems to be it's going to be a great thing for that, and for us. I mean, our new brewery we just opened in Cary, Southline Brewing. I mean, my brewer is making absolutely fantastic.
Now, wait.
beers.
Did your granddaddy brew beer as well?
No, he did not.
Okay, just checking. How'd that brewery idea come along?
He did make his own wine. He used to always have a little something ferment in the back of the cooler, and I grabbed that one time thinking it was a soda. That was not a soda. He had some. He would do some scupping on wine. It was delicious, but not so much as a 7-year-old when I tried it. But no, for us, having our brewery and featuring it here, so we'll have featured other local breweries. We're gonna do a collaboration beer with Havoc very soon, which will be really nice to kind of get.
Yeah, I think I ran into Robin at Havoc a few weeks ago, and she had mentioned you guys were going to open up. But again, the process of opening up any restaurant takes a while. It's not an easy process.
To be here with that, and so for us, I mean, really, like I said, we'll see what the crowd really wants. I mean, if it's different types of drinks or cocktails they're wanting, or if it's going to be more just based on beer and barbecue, we'll see what happens. We just hope we see on a Friday, Saturday night. We got people out here tailgating, hanging out in the parking lot. We're gonna have a great patio outside. Don't have it open today because it's 30 degrees and windy, but we will have a fun atmosphere where you can just kind of hang out, spend your time here. We'll have outside. We're gonna try to put some TVs out there too, so that way you can watch some games, hang out, maybe have a fire pit.
Oh, you were talking about having folks out there tailgating. I mean, Saturdays when games are over at UNC, there's a lot of folks that come through Pittsboro to get up there. Yeah, so you might be able to grab some of those. Anything else we need to know about the food?
About the food? Like I said, we're going to do our best to source locally as much as possible, have some really good quality ingredients, and really just I mean, freshness is kind of the thing we try to do as much as we can. So we'll see what the crowd's looking for. I mean, if it becomes more of a high volume and like, you know, quick order, get out of here, or is it going to be like, hey, we'll do some more crafted food and have some time to really spend on like a deeper menu? We'll just see. Like I said, this is a clean slate out here, so I can't wait. I mean, I love food. You know, this is why I do what I do. I absolutely love it. I don't do this crazy business other than that, because it's really, like I said, you could do 1,000 other things and make a living for me. I love having my kids in here today and like them be able to see like the connection between like, hey, you have a product, you make it, you deliver it, and you get to be with the customer at the same time.
It's not an easy business, is it?
No, it's not. It's not, but you got to be a little mad, a little sick in the head to really.
No, but let me ask you this. I worked in restaurants back in college days a long time ago, but I think one of the things I even enjoyed as a server and a bartender was when you saw a smile on a customer's face because they enjoyed your product. And if they hung around and drank wine and enjoyed the evening, that was a little bit extra.
Yeah, the problem, I love that about the food truck, because when I started, I was there, I smoked it, I made it, I delivered it, and I got to speak to them and see them. With the restaurant now, you have to have a really good staff, which we do. We have an amazing crew already, but when you have to deliver it on a mass level like that, if I could shut this thing down and have the bar and 4 booths, hey, that'd be great. I could spend time with everybody, and I don't get to do that, and that's what makes me suffer the most, is like I have to shift to like business owner and manager and not get to spend time with people. I love spending time with the customers.
Well, you know what? Maybe every January 20th, you should have a special day where you just hang out in the thing, let your folks take care of it, and you just hang out in the booth and talk with folks.
Yeah, it was great. I mean, I had like the guy that we just saw, I had like several customers that have been with me from when we started the food truck that came in today. And it's just so cool to see those people come out and support, because they're like, man, they love what we do. It makes me feel good about what I do, even though we've had some very challenging, hard days. I mean, COVID almost killed us, and it's just getting through that, and like getting through like some of the challenges we've had with staffing. It's just unbelievable. Things I would have never thought of. I don't mind working hard, but it's things you can't control and you can't staff something, you just feel helpless. So, like I said, feel good about this right now. We have a good team. We got some great hires that are coming in. So,
let me ask you this question: some of the restaurants in town will put out some of it stays the same, but they do tweak their menus every day, or they have a special. You folks looking to do something like that, and is that going to be available? That folks, I will tell you, people may say Facebook is dead, but in this area, a lot of folks look at Facebook and other social media to see what's going on.
Now we'll have like specials every day. If you look at our carry store, we have a different special every day.
Okay.
And a lot of that is dictated by my guys working in the kitchen. So for me, I'll let them be creative. I'll let them do it. Stefan, a guy we got, he's like putting out this amazing menu of specials from where he's from. We just hired a guy. He's from Hawaii. Like, he has a lot of like this like different influence in his food. We're gonna let him go wild with it. I'd love to be able to see him like come up with some specials and just to try them and see if people love them, keep doing them. And that's where me is like, I'm never too proud of my menu. Whatever we can do that people want to see, we'll do more of that. But I love having like a good, like me, I'm a food guy. I love seeing like, hey, what's your new special? So for me, like, you know, Nick back in my kitchen right now, he's got this amazing deviled egg that he does. I mean, everybody's gonna love seeing.
Nick has an amazing deviled egg.
Oh yeah.
All right. He must be a favorite with the ladies at church when they have the homecomings. Yeah. Hey, try some of Nick's deviled eggs.
Yeah. Oh yeah. It's good. So I'm excited. I'm excited to see where that goes. So he doesn't know how many deviled eggs he's gonna start making. But
yeah, he's gonna say, "Hey, I'm up to here with deviled eggs." Let's finish up with this. You mentioned brewery. We talked about how you started with the barbecue and the truck. Actually, before we ask about breweries, is there, from your original truck menu, is there anything that you've carried on that you're still serving, or have you mixed and matched that up a bunch?
I mean, the thing that we started with that I feel brokenhearted that I'm going to take off the menu is our redneck nachos, and that was something we started on the food truck many years ago, and it's gotten to where it was such a filling dish as an appetizer that we've learned that like people are just eating that, but they want to eat more, and so we couldn't find a way to make it smaller. It was perfect the way it was, so we'll always keep the redneck nachos on the food truck, but unfortunately the menu and the restaurant's going to lose it in the next couple of weeks. But go out and we'll probably always be able to make them if somebody wants them, but it's something that we're not going to keep on the menu. But
it's going to be like that secret menu thing. Hey, can you get me Big Mike's?
It's basically Frito pie with barbecue with baked beans, and we put our blue cheese slaw on top and have this amazing mustard sauce. It's so good. It's perfection, but it just doesn't work. It doesn't work in a restaurant environment. The food truck will always have it on there, and so for me, it's going to break my heart because that's one of my favorite things we make.
When did you start your food truck business, by the way?
When?
Yeah, what year?
Mikey was born in 2010, so 2011.
Okay. The reason I asked, because I remember I was somewhere and someone was eating what you just mentioned. I'm like, is that really good? And he's like, yeah, it's really good.
Yeah, it's been around a long time, but now, like I said, we're seeing how our menu needs to evolve. like at least our other store, we'll see what happens here, but like having the right staff that can like make things and be proud of what they put out versus something that just comes off the food truck. It's more like it's more of a festival style food, and so I got a really professional kitchen that love what they do. Making them make something that comes in a little tray that's a Frito pie, they feel like they feel like they could do better than that. I think a lot of times, for me, like I listen to them, I hear them, and I want them to feel special. So let them find the replacements for stuff like that, which we have. So hence the deviled eggs that are coming.
Now look, when I bring my wife, I'm gonna have to do the brisket, and we'll have to do the deviled eggs kind of thing. And we may have to stop by here once you settle in with the 3 guys who do lunch, because we were at Al's last week, and we actually did Doherty's before they decide, or when they decided they're going to come up. We'll see if they ever show up. They claim they're going to be here on St. Patrick's Day.
Yeah, I heard it. I heard they'll be open by March, is what they were saying.
Yeah, so
we'll see. Good dude. So that'll be good. Good to have them out here too. So
yeah, and I think they and Havoc and the Mod are planning, because there's new owners at Mod, are planning to blow out St. Patrick's Day. So.
We'll take their spillover.
Hey, people can walk from here. They can stop off at Red Moose, get a beer, and come over here. But maybe they don't need to stop off at Red Moose. Let's finish up with the brewery. How did you get into the brewery idea? Where did that come from? I know it didn't come from your granddaddy.
I've had the itch since I started the food truck. We would always take our food truck to breweries. That's how we started.
Right.
Those were like our best rotations. I just never forget those Friday nights at Full Steam. Like that was like every Friday night we were at Full Steam, and just seeing the connection between the craft beer and having the food trucks. It was great, and so for me, I just got the itch a long time ago. I started learning how to brew then, and then like really getting into it. Did a lot of home brewing, and started really like getting to know a lot of local brewers, and did a few like co-brews with people with the restaurant, and then it was a natural progression for what I did, because I feel like what I love to do about our business and like the social aspect, the brewery brings that, and it has a really good like product model where you can actually like expand and run through that versus doing more. I mean, God bless people that can open more than 2 restaurants. I've done 2 before, and it's exhausting. But I feel like the expansion in brewing could really be something that we could move throughout the state and do something on a volume level, because putting out amazing product, which is
well, they changed the laws in North Carolina a bunch of years ago so that it made it easier for you to distribute statewide, because at one time it was really prohibitive, and they worked to get that changed. So, and I think Full Stream was one of the folks that pushed for that as well.
Old Mac and Noda out of Charlotte, they were the ones that really kind of helped push that, and I think Red Oak was behind it too, because man, you could see them right off of 85 there. They really expanded. Yeah, going to the distributor business is really challenging for a local brewery. So, hey, that IPA is not pouring. It's not pouring. I don't know what happened, if it got frozen inside the box or what.
Okay, I'll pour him up.
What does he want?
He wanted the IPA.
Yeah.
All right. Well, we're gonna
pour it. You can pour it. Just let it. I'm just gonna go slow for now. Have Mike get back there and hold it. Oh wait, no, you can't do that. You're not old enough yet. Take that off.
He is not.
That's not on the video.
Man, I don't edit, man. I just run stuff. He misspoke. Plus, it's closed down anyway. All right. So, look, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, just coming up. You got to come out. If they sold out now, you know they may sold out on Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Folks, this is the man, the myth, and I'm taking that.
I want to eat your leftovers there.
You know what? If you can have it, I only took a little bit out of it, but I've got to have dinner with the wife, and that's why. But no, that is very good, and I will definitely come back with the missus. She's going to go for the brisket. I'm going to go for the burnt eggs, and I'm coming back. For Nick's deviled eggs.
They'll be here for you.
They're so good.
Oh, they're so good. Like, see, it's like who goes to a barbecue place for deviled eggs? But we're gonna find out. We may have to do a whole new segment just on the Nick's deviled eggs. So.
Or there might be something smoked on top of it.
Smoked on top of it. All right. Not avocado. Is it gonna be avocado?
Might be some pork belly in there.
Oh, some pork belly, man. You know what? I'm excited about this kind of stuff. It's like you're looking to change the menu as needed to make your customers happy and yourself happy. So, Big Mike, thank you very much.
Yeah, thank you.
And we will let you know when this is on there.
Pittsboro
And
for
folks,
showing up today in a big way.
there you go. Show up next week too.